To successfully buy properties at foreclosure auctions, which have some smoking deals, you got to do a few things first. First, you need to learn how the auction works. Step one to that is to get a copy of the terms of sale from whomever is auctioning off the property. Most important things you want to learn there is you have to pre-register. That's number one. Sometimes you have to do certifications if it's a tax sale that you're not behind in taxes, so you got to take care of that stuff. And often the registration is in advance. Don't wait till the last minute. Check on this a couple weeks in advance of the auction you're going to be going to. You also want to learn from the terms of sale when and how you have to pay for the property. These are typically cash deals, so that means they may take a cashier's check from a bank or an ACH or a wire transfer. Some auctions you pay as soon as you win the bid. Other ones you put a deposit down, maybe 10% as soon as you win the bid. Other ones will give you time till say the end of the day to do it, but you need to understand what those are. Those will be in the terms of the auction. There are other things that are not in the terms of the auction, and you need to consult with a knowledgeable insider to learn about those. So I think those insiders come in two flavors. One is a local attorney that's knowledgeable in foreclosure investing. A good way to do that is go attend an auction, talk to some of the attorneys there, see if they would be willing to talk to you about the risks and the opportunities of buying and sale. They're really for the technical end. So you want to find out from them things like, are all the mortgages and liens going to be wiped out after the auction? Because surprisingly enough, they're not all always wiped out. Like you may have a second mortgage foreclosing and the first mortgage may come with the property. So the attorney can tell you about that and how you can evaluate that and make sure that you don't get caught up with that. You also want to talk to the attorney about how do you get possession of an occupied property. Because if you buy the property at a foreclosure auction, if it has occupants, you get them. Whether they're tenants or former owners, they're yours. So you need to know what the legal process, the cost, and the timing is to get rid of any occupants. You also want to talk to the attorney about when do you actually get ownership of the property. And also, if you have the chance, you want to sit down with an experienced investor to talk to him or her about that. Now, you may want to cut a check to pay them for that advice. It's hard to get them to just give you the good advice. And you may even want to go to a different county where you're not going to be buying to talk to someone. Go talk to the people that are there bidding. Pick their brains a little bit. You need to know the business side of it. How does it actually work and what problems do you have in that particular county? Let's talk a little bit about what's the day-to-day work and business of buying at foreclosure auctions. Here's what's involved. First, you're going to be getting the list of properties to be sold at the auction. That's generally available 30 to 45 days in advance of the auction. And then you have to do your due diligence. That means checking out the property and the legalities around it. So you have to research the property. You may be researching its title to see, is it a first mortgage that's foreclosing or a second mortgage? You also want to research the value of the property, what do properties go for in that area? And you also want to know about the neighborhood. It's a desirable neighborhood where things sell quickly, or is it a neighborhood that's not so desirable and things sell slowly, if at all? And you're also going to have to physically evaluate the property. Ultimately that means driving by it and taking a look at it from the street. You aren't legally allowed to go inside the property. That's trespassing. And certainly if it's occupied, you really don't want to go inside the property. But you need to do at least a street side evaluation. And foreclosures, they don't offer property tours. So you need to assess the property as best you can from the street in front of the property. Maybe you're going to go knock on the door if you're very bold. But be sure, whatever you're doing, to look very carefully. We'll look especially at the roof for any signs of holes or signs of leaking or signs of damage. But it's a problem, whatever it is, because I guarantee you, when you go to resell that property, an inspector's going to look at that and you're going to have problems with your resale. So you need to do that. And make sure when you're looking at the properties, be conservative. Assume that repairs are needed. If it looks bad, assume it is that bad and worse, because since you don't get to go inside the property and really look it over, you really need to assume the worst. There can be a lot of really expensive problems from a vacant property. So be conservative. You're better off not getting the deal than you are getting a bad deal. So just be conservative. For me personally, if it's a property I'm looking to fix and flip, I want to pay about 60% of the retail value minus my fix-up cost. I might go as high as 70% if I really like the property in the neighborhood, but that's really pushing it. Nothing higher than that, because you need to be prepared for the worst and you need to build a big margin. So 70% of retail minus the fix-up cost is the most I'd ever go on a property. Once you've done that, you get together your list of properties, you get together your maximum bid based on the repairs you think are there, based on the value of the property. Then get your money together. Make sure you're prepared with whatever form of money they want, whether it's cash or certified checks or money orders or whatever it is, and then go to the auction ready to bid. Going to need to have that cash lined up because you can't get a mortgage to buy these properties. When you buy at a foreclosure auction, mortgage companies are not able to fund those, so make sure that your money is lined up. Now, I know this may sound like a lot of trouble to buy at the auction, and it is. There's a lot to it, but the upside is you can save a lot of money on the purchase price. I'd say it's pretty easy to save 20% off retail, and 30% is pretty achievable, and occasionally 40 and 50%. The downsides to foreclosure auctions: first, it's the cash thing. Second, it's the lack of inspection. And third, a lot of the properties that are advertised for sale are never actually sold. And a lot of the properties that are advertised for sale are actually never sold because the problem gets resolved prior to the auction. But for the properties you do get a chance to buy, you can really get great screaming deals. It can be really a good trade-off, but you have to have the time to spend on it and you have to be patient. If you want to learn more about buying at foreclosure auctions, please go ahead and grab a free copy of my 3-part mini course where I go over buying specifically tax deed auctions. A lot of that also applies to mortgage foreclosure auctions. I also talk about investing in tax liens, which are high interest rate investments that you can make that are backed by real estate. Interest rates can be 36, even 50% a year, so it's pretty amazing. And also I'm going to tell you about the related but little known overages business. That is the coolest business screaming along today, so you really want to learn about that. To get a copy of the free mini course, go to the link in the description below or my bio. You can get a free copy of that mini course. Very quick and easy read, but it'll give you the basics and tell you how to do those businesses, and you can see if, hey, that's really one for me, I really want to do it. And you're also going to learn about overages, which, like I said, is just the bomb right now. It's really making a lot of money. If you like this message, subscribe and like for more, and hopefully I'll see you over in the free mini course and you'll be learning about that, and before you know it, you'll be buying at foreclosure auctions, maybe picking up some high interest rate tax deeds and doing the overages business so you can make a lot of money. This is Bob Diamond, America's Tax Sale Attorney. I will see you next time. Go grab that free mini course and move your learning forward, and good luck.